Hello, I'm
Hello.
Boris,
And I'm Jack.
and today we're talking about some of our greatest films that are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really say it, can we, if it's not out yet, but
No.
we hope it's great, and I hope you can see us.
Mm-hmm.
If you see us, I hope you're well,
Mm-hmm.
hope you're safe, hope you're healthy,
Healthy.
and it's Halloween, isn't it, tonight?
It is Halloween. It's where all the spooks come out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we've got nothing to show this year
Nothing, unfortunately.
because of multiple things have happened this year, haven't they?
Mhm.
And some of you might not know this, but a global pandemic came around. So
I only found that out yesterday.
yeah, earlier this year,
Mm-hmm.
we was I gave you a phone call
Mm-hmm.
about one of the things we're going to be talking about, actually,
Mm-hmm.
well, multiple things,
Mm.
and we said that we was going to start filming one of our films,
Mm-hmm.
but come by March when we was going to probably do it,
It's all locked down.
yeah, we got locked down, but
Mm.
it doesn't mean we've not been doing anything. We've
No, been busy.
been busy, yes, and this hairpad is getting annoying. Well, would you like to say some of the things we've been doing in lockdown? I can do my thing. What you've been doing?
Well, I've been in the process for quite a while of sort of like animation.
So, jump cut probably. So,
Mhm.
had a bit of an interruption,
Mm-hmm.
but wanted to do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking about what we've been doing.
Yep.
So,
I'm totally lost now.
he got sidetracked. We've been talking about animation.
Animation, yeah. So in the lockdown, obviously, there's loads of time on your hand, and you can't get actors, can you, to act in front of a screen? So the best thing to do was animate them. So I've been working on animation for quite a while, as you've probably already seen
seen
the
it.
Witchfinder series. So
You've honed your craft as such.
yeah, I worked on quite a number of projects to do with, say, the count and everything like that, and Kobe said no, doesn't fit with the timeline, no. So I thought, well, I'd really like to do something like a Twilight Zone series.
And we'll get to that a bit later.
Yeah.
But that's what you've been doing,
Yeah.
isn't it? We've been
Mm-hmm.
having some discussions about that. Jesus, get the living daylights out of me.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing, I've been writing most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've been writing some of the future things that we might just say at the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I signed the new logo, which will be seen soon.
Mm-hmm.
I created a postcard.
Mm-hmm.
Something about Wimpy, which will be shown in another thing.
Mm-hmm.
What I mainly do when I'm not acting is behind the scenes work, so you don't really see that.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of post stuff, pre stuff, isn't there?
yes, there is. That's what I've been doing. Other than that, you can't really do much in these different times.
But as soon as lockdown was lifted, we started shooting on the count number 3,
Yeah, well,
which you'll learn more about later.
yes, but other than that, it's been a weird year. When we're filming this, it's the filming it about a month before, aren't we?
Yeah,
So September now, we just got announced.
but we've got to pretend it's October.
Yeah.
See all these nice Halloween pumpkins behind us.
Yes. But just being real, September,
Mm-hmm.
some more restrictions have been put in place as cases are beginning to rise. So grinding it out. But we're taking time out of our schedule to inform you, the general public, the general public about our great, fantastic projects.
Up and coming things, yes.
So why don't we start off with the thing you was talking about then, the new animated thing?
It's called the NonVoid, and basically the name really come from the second instalment of the Count film series, chapter 2, and that's where the actual name come from, and it is literally about a series of short stories with twists at the end. So I won't give any of them away because you have to wait till the series comes out. It will all come out in one big block, so you can binge watch a lot. So there's 10 episodes.
Like Netflix. I think Netflix. I don't think Netflix. Netflix at the moment has been cancelled on the internet.
Is it?
Yeah, they released a dodgy film.
Ah, right.
But I think Disney Plus instead.
Yeah, I think that.
Or Amazon.
Yeah.
Either one. But what can we really expect? Do you have to watch every episode or anything?
You can watch individual episodes. You can watch them in any order. They're all individual stories. So each story will have a twist and make you think. Or it'll have a twist from a different perspective. I can't really give much more away than that, really, unless you watch the whole lot. But if you think the Twilight Zone, then you're bang on the money.
Well, what about people who haven't watched the Twilight Zone? How can you describe it other than that?
Other than what I've already said,
Yeah,
short stories with a twist at the end.
In the middle.
Yeah. Well,
No reoccurring characters at all, by the way. There's no.
Only the narrator.
Yeah,
that's the only
narrator. So there's no, regular cast member.
Yeah.
It's just jump in, watch.
Yeah.
Get on with the day. How long are the episodes?
They range from about 15 minutes to 10 minutes each episode.
So doesn't if you're looking for a quick fix, quick entertainment, watch one of those. Get on with your day. No need to keep focused on one storyline. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And this has all been made in lockdown.
A whole lot of it was done in lockdown. Yeah. So all 10 episodes were put together then. So sorry if it looks a bit shabby, but I've tried to knock out the best product we can get.
Yeah, you tried some new techniques. Any challenges you had to overcome?
Not really. No, not really. It just nothing sticks out.
Then we've got a whole load of cast of writers, haven't we, doing different episodes.
Yeah.
Different types of stories. They're not all some of them might think, Twilight Zone might be a bit sci-fi-y or things. Not.
Yeah, they say it is.
Yeah,
some are, don't they? Some are set in space.
Very broad spectrum. This series is. It's a some could be mystery, some could be sci-fi, some could be horror.
Yeah, there's a mixture of all of those kind of things. Yeah.
So if one episode isn't your fancy, you just go on to another one, and you'll probably find something. Hopefully. Hopefully. So anything else you want to add with the NonVoid?
No, just start streaming it, start watching it.
Yeah, it's out now. Link in the description, I guess. Pretty surprising to say that because it's not out now for us. But it is out now. And yeah. Right, next one. So it was originally meant to come out this year. Probably come out early next year at some point. It's The Night of the Colts. Now this one was a bit, before the coronavirus, there was already a bit of a schedule mishap, you could say, with the Wolf. The Wolf had some schedule problems with files, and generally actually, the editing software kind of kicked the bucket during the production of it. So it took a little bit more. I had to re-edit the whole thing again, and it came out December-ish, wasn't it? And that really put things back in a aspect of filming. And obviously we had, like I mentioned before, the discussions between us what we was going to film first, what we was going to film after. And we decided to film number 3 of The Count first, but it's going to come out second because it's a long thing to film. So by the time we filmed it, coronavirus has come and kicked us all in the Goonies, and we've not filmed any of The Night of the Colts. But I'm adamant that it's going to happen probably next year. It has to be next year if the last chapter's coming out. They know the name, by the way. You can't call it the last chapter. The last chapter's coming out, but next year. So they kind of go in hand because this story, our cast of characters, Kobe Gilbert and Death Snake, also known as Kobe Gilbert from a different dimension, are now back in time because of the ring they use. It's malfunctioning still. They've been sent back into the 1600s, specifically the gunpowder plot. So our heroes, or well, main cast, they're not necessarily heroes anymore. You can see them during this plan that's destined to fail. We'll be able to see the different aspects of their characters come to light. Now that it's been, I think, about 2-3 years since Halloween 2 in timeline. 2 years in real life, isn't it now?
Yeah.
Must be around that time.
Yeah.
But we see a more mature, more aged Kobe Gilbert. We see a more mature, more aged Death Snake in aspects. What can you say about Death Snake that you can just give other than being a bit of a...
I don't actually no. All I can say is he's a chilled out character in this one, and he has been in previous ones. But being as we haven't shot much of it, I can't tell you much about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's more. I'll probably be able to elaborate more. He's more of a he's more of a kind. Well, in some bits, he's back seated as a character to deal with Kobe Gilbert's new character arc of becoming the something or other. I can't say much, but it deals with that. But in other scenes, Death Snake really it's just you deal with some of his other aspects of his life. You go kind of into the past a bit in some flashbacks. You get more about who Death Snake was before everything, and you might just see a bit what he'll be like after. As for Kobe Gilbert, he's a little bit different. He's become a much more of a darker character than he was in Ashes of the Colt, probably because of what they've been through now. He was quite young, obviously, like 15 in Ashes of the Colt, and he's, going through all that stuff at a young age can really mess up your mind. So he's a lot more darker. He's more set into one way or another. He wants to do it now, this way. I can't really tell you much other than the character is very strong-minded towards one way, and that could turn out very bad. We've got a certain known character which will not very known at the moment, but will be known, called Lord Hawthorne. You've heard of him maybe in chapter 1, chapter 2. Yeah. He's actually one of our main casts in this, as one of the people that help a certain guy called Robert Catesby. But Lord Hawthorne in this is pretty young, isn't he? Around 19, isn't he?
I don't know.
Well, in the last chapter he's around 50, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, around 19. Late teens, early 20s, yeah. And you probably see more about, you see different shades of him in the last chapter. You see him one way, don't you? Very much throughout the film.
Yeah.
In this one, you're actually going to see him as a proper human being. This is the young man that will destined to be the ruler.
To destroy everything.
Yes. But you see Robert Catesby, well, what can you tell us about Robert Catesby as a general history character? Because that's what we go for with him.
Basically, he was one of the guys that led...
Like the main guy, wasn't he? Guy Fawkes was the
person that got caught for the gunpowder plot.
Yeah, when you think of the
Catesby
plot,
was the inventor, the main man, the guy who invented the whole thing. It was his plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, Catesby is
the
mastermind of the plot itself. It was just unfortunate that Guy Fawkes was one that got caught for it and was labelled.
Unfortunate.
But it's unfortunate for him anyway.
Yeah, he's the main man, isn't he now? You think Guy Fawkes night really? Probably Robert Catesby
night, really, isn't it?
Yeah. But he got. What did he get his head cut off? Or did he
I think they all got executed, didn't they?
Well, executed, in different ways. I mean.
Yeah, I think I think he was shot, wasn't he? I can't remember.
Oh, something like that.
I have to revisit the history books on that one.
Yeah. But anyways, unfortunately we haven't got anything to show you.
Not yet.
Except for some concept art, so throw it up on screen. Very good looking concept art.
Yes, very nice.
Very good.
Mm.
We couldn't see any of that,
Mm.
but I'm sure we'll give you a little taste on what is to come.
Mm-hmm.
And but on to our next topic, and it's a certain other cartoon that came out during the beginning of the year, but stopped because of the coronavirus. Got kind of sidetracked, but it is coming back at the end of the year after the mid-season break. What is it?
It is the Count Witchfinder cartoon.
So, what can you tell us about the actual series? What these next 3-4 episodes are going to be like?
Well, one of them gives you the back history of the Crucible. One of the others gives you a little glimpse of what is yet to come with the Count. If you've not watched the series before, it just fills in the blanks really between the films. Gives a bit more meat on the bones of what is actually going on. I suppose really looking back, the whole idea of making the series was, I liked chapter 1. I liked the relationship between Hopkins and the Count, and I wanted to explore and expand that further. So the only way you could do that is to flesh out chapter 1 really, and that's basically what it centres around: the lead up, the build up to the point where everything goes wrong at the end of chapter 1 as such.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the cartoon is about really. The next 3 episodes, one features on the history of the Crucible.
One has a certain Mirror Man in it.
Yeah, Mirror Man, yeah.
No one knows about that character, but
yeah.
it's very special. Very special character.
And there's also a Christmas special.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more towards the end of this section, but we have got plans for
That's about it really on
that. Well, with any other things we can mention about these episodes, these characters? Any difficulties? This was your first ever.
No, no difficulties. I envisaged what I wanted, and I got what I wanted on screen in a way.
Well, we know what it's based on. No one knows what it's based on, but you had a kind of outline of what you wanted it to be based on, didn't you? Power of the Daleks.
Oh right, the actual animation itself. I wanted it to be like the Doctor Who, the Power of the Daleks cartoon, and the cartoons that probably come out afterwards, but they've become a little bit more what's the word?
Digital.
Yeah, more digital and more precise. Whereas the Power of the Daleks was a rough and ready cartoon chucked out there, and I like the idea of that, if you know what I mean. So. Yeah, very pencil type drawing type thing, and translated onto a computer format. So that's what I wanted it based on. Yeah, that's the kind of animation I like to do. It's easy as well.
So, any characters we can expect other than Matthew Hopkins and the Count?
Like you mentioned, one is Mirror Man.
Cecil.
Yeah, and his sidekick Cecil. I think it's Cecil, was it? Or Cyril? I can't
remember. We came up
Cedric.
with
Cedric, his name was in the end. Yeah, sorry.
We came up with so many different names for this character.
Yeah, Cedric.
It's been very successful, hasn't it, at the moment?
At the moment, yeah.
All of the episodes we've put out at the moment has got a steady view, so we're going to plop out these last
few.
Hope it does well. And we're talking about Christmas special now, this thing you've been working on for a little bit longer, haven't you?
Yeah, it's sort of one of those things that you pick up and put down every now and again. It all depends what comes up as well. So Christmas special, you're going to see it's more of a flashback story in the base of a Scrooge type story. Yeah,
so anything, well, since it's closer, any characters we can expect?
John Stern. You can expect John Stern.
John Stern.
Yes, John Stern is in it from chapter 2, yes.
Yes.
That's about it, really. All the other characters are still in there. Yeah, that's all I can tell you. In a way, it's Matthew Hopkins is in the cartoon world. That is, he's first outing as such. So it goes back to that.
Reflection.
Yes.
And any other things before we end this section regarding the episodes?
All I can say is watch it.
Yeah, the next episode 4, is out right now, along with this.
Enjoy it.
Right, so this is the moment everyone's probably been waiting for, isn't it?
I think so.
So, the last chapter.
The last chapter.
Do you want to start off from where it all began with chapter 2, when we was conceptualising that film? Because we had the 2 films going at the same time, which is a bit stupid, but we done it. We was in the car, wasn't we?
Yeah.
And you was telling me, you was like, I want to know a villain for the next film.
Well, I suppose in a way we were working up to get this villain out there. Really, I think you created the character, didn't you? The Hellcount.
Yeah, well, right. So the story behind this character of Hawthorne is we had this guy called Hawthorne.
Yeah.
He's the leader of the witches.
Yeah.
And you came over to me in the car and went, "We need an enemy for number 3." I went, "Well, I don't know, isn't there any other monsters we can have?" And you told me a story about a mask. So would you like to explain that mask? Because it doesn't give any story away.
Basically, my sister had this mask and she was absolutely scared of this mask. So it scared her so much that when we had a bonfire on bonfire night, this mask went on the bonfire. So that kind of invented the character of the Hellcount, which will be the main man of the whole film, really.
Yeah, pure evil.
He's
scary. He's not a pleasant man to be around in this film.
And he's got destruction on his mind and he doesn't care how he gets it. So, you had whispers of the name Hawthorne through chapter 1 and a bit more in chapter 2. And you saw him at the end of chapter 2.
That was the mystery man. And in the film, where it says he will return, it means him, not the Count. Even though the Count is in the film, whereas it wouldn't.
Yeah, you had chapter 1, which was predominantly a Count and Matthew Hopkins film. You had chapter 2, which is predominantly the Count and a Red Devil film. This one,
Hawthorne and the Catwitch.
Hawthorne and a Catwitch film with the Count roughly in the background.
Yeah.
But this
is centred around the character though of the Count. But the main character is Hawthorne.
And this is the point where stuff happens. This is the end game for a lot of these people.
Yeah. So continuing with the creation of this character, I came up with the name of Hellcount.
I think you used to do them in comics, didn't you?
No.
You never did?
No.
You did. Sorry, I got that wrong.
So I just came up with the name Hellcount because it was what other version could you call it?
Yeah.
But we came up with that.
It did.
And you wrote the first version of this script.
Well, it kind of wrote chapter 2 and 3 back to back. So it followed on virtually straight away.
It's about 4 years ago now, weren't I?
And you took that script and said, we can make this a lot better. You wrote it basically, didn't you?
Yes, I kept the basic aspects of the film and rewrote it.
Yeah.
About 15 times. But we got on a version that was just so good that we couldn't pass it up. And we started filming it. We can tell them specifically.
Yeah, you're going to see a totally different film, basically. You're going to see something that is totally not like chapter 1 and chapter 2. That's all I can say, really, in that respect.
But in a good way, we're talking about here. There's a lot of changes have been made during these times.
Yeah, there's a lot of technical stuff been put into it.
Yes.
So an awful lot that's been learned from doing animation. So you might see a touch of that in there as well.
And I think, we could tell them a little bit about the story. We said about the Guy Fawkes night with Night of the Colts. So I think it would be just as fair to tell them a little, not the whole story, but brief synopsis.
Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
We can share it. Set about during a year after, isn't it? Around that time, it's a pretty big time.
As it stands, the Count and all his crew, they're all
gone,
banished to a prison called the NonVoid, where he's created his castle and he's now living on in a different realm to this one, and he's locked up.
Yeah, and Hawthorne has taken over Canoodan after being resurrected somehow.
Yeah.
Well, you'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
And whilst in Canoodan, he intends to get his personal belongings
back and become what he was before he died.
And so one thing leads to another.
Yeah, he goes on a quest to try and collect all these things.
And, you know, things never really turn out good in Canoodan. And that's all we can possibly say. But the Count will be returning.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be Red Devil, there'll be witches, there'll be... God, all of them. All of them.
And it's called The Last Chapter for a reason.
Yes.
So a lot of these people, an awful lot of these people aren't going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point where it changes.
This is one last battle, isn't it?
Yes.
One last battle.
The last one.
One last time.
Mm-hmm.
It all ends.
Yes.
And is there anything you would like to say before we move on to our next thing?
Just watch the trailer at the end of this show.
Yeah. Oh, more incentive, eh? So, do you want to roll the trailer now or right at the end?
We'll show it at the end.
Okay, there you go. So, next thing.
Mm-hmm. What's this, the next thing?
Next thing is what can we expect next year?
Ah, right, okay.
So next year, hopefully, everything should be moderately manageable.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm. You know, we hope that things will be manageable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've already been through hell this year. We're hoping that human race has gotten used to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And if that turns out pretty well,
mm-hmm.
you know, people are hoping that it'll be a complete reset next year. Never going to happen, is it? The virus is still going to be here, by the way. It's not going anywhere.
Mm.
But, you know, just got to hope. So we've got some, like, next RangerCon, I believe, Night of the Colts will be out. So I'm planning it on being April time.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we've got the Count Witchfinder movie to look forward to.
Yeah, that's been in the pipeline. That has been part animated already.
Mm-hmm. So we've got that. Should be coming out before the last chapter at some point, hopefully.
Yeah.
Just something to, you know, get the movement of the Count up and running again, you know, dust off the cobwebs, get him in there. We're going to be talking about the last chapter even more, and hopefully show off some more footage, because the film should be filmed by then, shouldn't it?
Yeah, hopefully it should be complete.
By April. You know,
Hopefully,
we'll just talk about, like, rehash some things, hopefully. Talk about, you know, since it's getting closer to the date, more other things, what you can expect within the 6 months between then. We got Hopkins. We announced that last year, but because of, we changed the schedule a bit, Hopkins is coming out later. But it's been a bit of a change with that film, and it's still going to happen. It's still going to be great, hopefully. Got some characters. I can announce one character, John Stern's brother, which is something you mentioned in the past before, but we're going to bring him into life. We've got another thing, which is called Mask. Not The Mask, just Mask. And it's about the Colts' greatest adversary, which is set in the 60s. It's going to be a whale of a time, hopefully. Be pretty fun, pretty quirky. Imagine Scooby-Doo and James Bond mixed together. What was that fake?
No, I was just thinking Mission Impossible as well, actually.
I've told you the whole story about it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty broad spectrum of, like, kind of classic things, you know, old Mission Impossible, old Man from U.N.C.L.E., old Batman and Robin. Just a bunch of old things which should hopefully provide a modern twist to that kind of thing. You know, it's filmed on modern technology, but hopefully we can make something really special with that. And that's about it, I can really say. From us at Ranger Productions, thank you for watching.
Happy Halloween.
Stay safe. Don't eat too many sweets. It might make you sick. Right, and we've got one more thing to say, I guess. Roll the trailer.
Here is the trailer, the last chapter.
See you later.
When I awoke, it felt like such a long time. For once, it felt like an ordinary day, something I have long forgot. But there is no such thing as an ordinary day. Yes, of course I can, but he'll be a grotesque monster. Do it. Do it, Doctor. I need a weapon. The Hell Count will return. If he does, it will be the end of my existence.
I'm sorry, James. It was a ruse. I've always been in league with witches. How do you think I overcame every opponent? Too old, need youth. Crucible. Traitor! You're supposed to be dead! Tell me where the Count is.
The Count's risen from hell.
You think I'm a cat?
Nobody remembers you, my lord.
They will.